Good morning. Penny here. I talk about boundaries. I found very early in my grief due to suicide loss that I needed to set boundaries. It took me a while to understand why I needed boundaries, and it took me a while to understand that it was boundaries I needed. And the reason I needed boundaries was for my mental health. I needed good mental health and healthy interpersonal relationships. Boundaries are very difficult sometimes to make because they're usually with loved ones, people that are close to us. And sometimes when we are with people we love and care about, they may share too much. And we don't know enough to say, I am exhausted. I can't hear this. I can't continuously listen to people that share too much. I personally took on their pain. I felt their pain. I felt their emotion. Me had feelings of exhaustedness, like emotional, as though I had been crying and sobbing, and really, I couldn't fix what they wanted. I couldn't fix people. I didn't want to fix people. So, hearing too much information, I was taking it on. I had to know my boundaries and set my boundaries, and it was difficult. So, sometimes if you're with the wrong people, you will hear way too much. And you have to find a way to say, I can't do this. Hi, Bev. No, you don't do this at all. I love hearing from you. I have lots of friends and people now that they're really very considerate. I don't have that issue with not being respected, but I've matured and I've grown. So obviously, um, I have shown and I'm aware of being respected by my friends. So I'm very fortunate with who I have in my life today. But I do know people have told me that having boundaries and setting boundaries is very very good for your mental health. You have to be open and honest and let that person know that I can only hear so much, or you distance yourself. It's also a form of respect to the person that is speaking about their true heartfelt feelings, emotions, and their story. So, to have proper respect for the person telling their story, you need to say, how be we set up a time we both can talk or I can listen? Because you want to show respect for their story. Show respect for what they're going through because it is raw and real. I needed healthy boundaries very early in my grief, but it took me a few years to set those boundaries and know how to set the boundaries. It's not an easy thing to do because I had to be, I wanted to be assertive and not be cruel or arrogant and hurt somebody's feelings because they don't know where you are in your life if you don't share that information. So, if you need support, a support system, set that up. So, if you were unable to speak or let that person know that you're unable to hear their story at this moment, and you do let them go ahead and talk, set up a support system. Know somebody you can call or somebody or something that is a backup plan. My backup plan was my tape recorder. I would record my message or how I was feeling at that very moment because I had to dump it. I had to release it. And so I did. So it's also important to think about what is really vital to hear from a person. Sometimes it's okay to share certain information and then stop it at that. It's not easy to set up and know what is vital to hear and how much of it you can hear. But I'm telling you, be very careful of what your choices of your support system is as well, because you could be disappointed if you don't clarify that it's confidential and you don't want it repeated and you don't want to see it on Facebook or the social media. Posting things on social media can hurt you very much. So be careful what you do. But think about that. Think about boundaries and think about how important it is to your emotional energy because it can be exhausting. So when you are in that state, that's when it's self care. You want to recharge and revitalize your energy, your mind. That's what I needed anyway. That also goes for your support system. Remember what you need and what's vital to you, and that they validate your story. That's the respect part. But I had to mention that, okay? Have a good rest of the day. Until next time, thank you again. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Bye for now. Boundaries. Okay.